There are a lot of reasons why someone would want to make a guy jealous. Maybe this guy has caused you some jealousy and it's time for a little taste of his own medicine. Or maybe he's an okay guy, but he acts way too nonchalant about your relationship. So you need to see if you can get a reaction out of him or if he truly couldn't care less. By the way, if you're trying to get a serious relationship out of this guy, you may want to avoid the jealousy phase and instead check out a video we made on what makes a serious relationship. But anyway, if you do decide you need to spark a little jealousy, I'm not one to judge. Instead, I'm going to do you a solid and teach you 8 ways to make him jealous without ever involving another dude or breaking any morals. Let's get to it. Number 1, say yes to going out. If you've never seen the movie Yes Man, it's about a guy who gets cursed and has to say yes to everything offered to him. Now is your time to become the yes woman. Your friends invite you out for this weekend? You say yes. Your cousin has an extra ticket to a last-minute concert out of the blue? You're there. Someone tells you about a random street fair happening tomorrow afternoon? You can bet your bottom dollar that they'll see you there. Saying yes to going out means that you're going to be busy doing things, meeting people, and having fun. With such a great social life outside the realm of your relationship with this guy, he's bound to get a bit jealous. Not only that, but it will help you if you're trying to get over a guy or make him less of a priority in your life. My good friend Maria was going through a tough time after a guy ghosted her a few months back, so she filled up her schedule as much as she could to avoid any extra time that let her think, what if? It was still tough, but she definitely had a ton of fun and got through it faster than if she had been a no woman. Number 2, look your best. It's hard to be jealous of someone who looks like they've had better days. After all, jealousy comes from wanting something we can't have. That's why it's super important to try to impress by looking your best. I'm not saying you need to put your ball gown, party outfit, or a whole face of makeup on to go to the corner store, but do put a bit of thought behind your look. Especially if you're going to see this guy or might run into him wherever you're going. The same goes for if you're ever attending an event where people will post pictures of you or report back to him. I'll always remember when my friend Maria ran into the best friend of that guy who ghosted her one night out. She looked bomb, as always, and guess who texted her the next day? Yep, the ghost heard she'd been looking good. Do you want him to see or hear about how you looked, say wow, and feel instant jealousy of anyone who gets to be with your beauty in person? Then this is your go-to. By the way, you're already looking good. If you can say the same thing about this channel, please like and subscribe to show your support. Number 3, let him know when someone hits on you. Let me preface this by saying that you don't need to flirt with other dudes or do anything immoral to get a guy to be jealous. If you're already saying yes to plans and looking your best, other guys will naturally start to gravitate toward you and will hit on you. Now that you have these encounters, what you decide to do is up to you, but I recommend casually mentioning them in conversation with this guy to both be honest and potentially poke a little jealousy into him. We don't want to rub it in his face. We just want him to know that other dudes are dying to go out with you and that you have your options. Number 4, be a social butterfly. Another way you can make him jealous is by stretching out your social butterfly wings. Expecting invitations to go out is one thing, but speaking to new people and forming new friendships is another. I used to be pretty shy back in the day, so I know this is easier said than done, but you can start with acquaintances to make it a little easier. Next time you're in a group setting or at a party or somewhere social, make small talk with a friend of a friend or someone you see once in a while to get the ball rolling. With enough practice, you'll soon be able to socialize more and become a familiar face in your neighborhood or social circle. Won't this guy be shocked the next time you two are hanging out or the next time he speaks to someone he knows and suddenly you're mentioned as the queen of the party? Number 5, solve problems without him. Guys love to be needed and it gives them a sense of superiority and purpose, especially if it's the same girl who tends to need them over and over again. Get his ego in check by becoming Miss Independent yourself. What's the last thing you used to need help with that you learned to do yourself? Drop it in the comments to inspire me. Now, think of some things that you would normally ask this guy for help with. For example, I used to always ask this guy I used to date for help with things related to my car. Stereotypical, I know. Even so, that was the situation, but I reached a point where I didn't like how much I depended on this dude or how he seemed to be King Caesar every time I asked for help. So I went out and learned how to do the car things myself. I charged my own battery, learned how to change the oil, and even brushed up on some mechanical terminology to be better informed. After a while, he asked me if I knew I was due for an oil change, and when I told him it was taken care of without any further details, you could see the look of instant jealousy on his face. Number 6. Reminisce about good times with others. Another great way to spark the green envy bug is by reminiscing on your good times in front of him. If you've been socializing a lot lately, you've probably got a couple of good stories up your sleeve, and he should hear about them. My ex always had an excuse when it came to doing things together. Lame, I know. So I used to do a ton of fun stuff with my best friend. I would always tell my ex about these great experiences because that's what you should share with your partner, right? Even so, he would get so jealous. He had every option to change the situation and partake in these experiences himself, but not everyone is the brightest crayon in the box, I guess. Don't overdo it. 1 or 2 good tales per conversation are enough. Just make sure your recaps are genuine so he can see the joy in your expression when you talk about them. Number 7. Do not schedule around him. If you are a kind person, as I'm sure you are, you probably tend to rearrange your schedule for people you care about. If this guy is on that list, that means you prioritize him when it comes to your agenda, and that is the opposite of what you should do if you want him to feel jealous. It's time for you to make your plans around you and only you, and maybe around your friends and family if they're a priority to you. He needs to know that you are in charge of your calendar and that other people also vie for your time. That same ex I mentioned also used to get upset that he had to be penciled in to hang out with me because he had gotten too used to me being at his beck and call for years when I was never a priority for him. If I still sound salty about it, it's because I am. Yuck. Number 8. Be your best self. The best way to spark jealousy is by being the best version of yourself. And that means consistently working towards self-improvement. Whether you're getting in shape, furthering your education, learning a new skill, or just changing small habits day to day, this will reflect in your conversations with others, and news of your positive changes will get out there. Let him hear about and notice them to get a little jealous as to why you're suddenly a new and improved you, without him. Sparking a little jealousy could be warranted in many situations, so I hope one of these 8 strategies helps get the reaction you're looking for. No matter your reason, remember that you are valued and should be treated as such no matter the situation or guy. As always, thanks for watching and have an awesome week.